Howdy y'all, my name is Press. I'm coming at you with some more Be Happy. We're back playing some more Be Happy. Howdy y'all. Oh, ouch, 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 ouch. It just hurts so much. Why I gotta do that? Why I gotta do that? I'm fully filled with food. Let's go pop over here real quick. By the way, for some reason, and this happens all the time with when I'm playing Be Happy, the sounds for the jetpack have gone away. I flew up here just so I could get a quick little restoration, right? We're doing the spa thing without the spa actually happening now, but y'all saw I was walking over here and that little Imperial guy, he got me hooked up. So let's just quickly, all right, we're good. So I finished this guy out. I went and I put a whole bunch of upgrades on all of these guys. They're all working. They're all pumping stuff into the system. That's great. So today we are going to be working on Reactor stuff, but we're not going to start with that, all right? Because we got some steps that we got to take, okay? There's a lot of steps. There's a lot of steps when it comes to safely and effectively using nuclear power. Okay? Okay. So, I've set up a couple things. Let's look around. Let's look around what's going on. First of all, like I said, all this stuff's hooked up. This stuff's getting properly centrifuged. It's getting sent out here, going into this Tesseract, going down to the bottom. Perfect. It's working great. And now we have a lot of those guys running. They're still not producing a ton of yellorium, but they are producing some. So I've got some yellorium grains. Yes, I saved some on me because I wanted to show you guys something. Oh, by the way, check this out. See this little guy? See this little guy? Guess what? Guess what? It's working. Right click. Boom. Accessing the wireless terminal from super far away. Whenever I want, grab whatever I want. It'll be like, oh, it's yellorium. What do we got to do? Okay, we've got 14 yellorium ingots. That's great. Okay. It's all in there. Okay. How cool is that? Anyway, made that thing work. So that's awesome. Now, how did I make that work? Let's go show you. Coming down in here. By the way, this guy, is he working? Oh yeah, he's working. He's good. Finally got him up and working right. I still have to figure out which environmental thing to give him, but he's working right. And you know what? Let's really quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, and there they are right there. Automatic upgrade. Made a couple of them. I still need to make some recipes for those so that I can auto-craft them. Through the terminal thing, but still that works out really well. These guys, boom, look at all these. Look at all of this. Let me just quickly, let's siphon off some of that real fast. I need to get him hooked up, pumping out into the actual system, but look at that. Boom, got that all in there. Perfect. Perfect, you're doing great. So that guy's making our milky combs and our wheaten combs. I need to get him up into the system. Got to do that. There's a lot of maintenance that needs to be done around here. This place in here, by the way, is getting super crowded. And I'm thinking that because this is the basement, all right, what I eventually want this to be... Ooh, what was that noise? That was a noise. Ooh, that was spoopy. What I eventually want this to be is I actually want this whole downstairs basement to be the mainframe. Because I need to have a whole ton of these little offshoots with these crafters and with the machine setups to really have an efficient, nice, high-quality computer system that can basically do everything that I want at once. So I had to build this guy, the ME security terminal. In old versions of the ME system, because I looked at several different tutorials, in old versions of the ME computer system, you can just right-click on the controller and hook it up straight to that. That doesn't work anymore. You need a security terminal. So this is the security terminal. It took a ton of resources, by the way. Let me just show you what it took. And this is why I never built it before. So you'll see that it takes, all this kind of stuff. Okay, energy engineering processor and this 16K ME storage component. It's like, what is that sucker? Well, I had to make that from engineering processors and a couple of these 4Ks. What do those come from? Oh, that comes from this and these. That comes from some quartz and this. So we had a bunch of processors stored up in here. I have way less left over now. So I am going to have to actually set up a system. There are these Inscriber is what I think it's called. Inscriber? Yeah. There's this thing, which I haven't built yet, haven't used it yet. It's not an expensive thing to build, but you do have to set up several of them with different presses that will then produce those logic circuits for you. Like, let me show you one of the logic circuits. Logic here. So recipe for this guy is you need in an inscriber to add a printed logic circuit onto a printed silicon with a redstone. So printed silicon comes from an inscriber that has an inscriber silicon press and some silicon. And then this guy comes from the inscriber logic press and some gold. So you have to have several of these subscribers or inscribers set up with these logic presses, with these different presses, so that you can have some auto stuff printed. I haven't set that up yet. We'll eventually have that set up as part of this crazy mainframe. But for now, I'm just using the resources that we have had left over. So we're running out on those from all the quests that we did, but those are working. Okay, so what have I got going on? Well, y'all remember last time we set up that yellorium super hive prototype, right? Making a bunch of yellorium grains or combs, and that's getting centrifuged and then sent into the system, right? So what's going to the system now is yellorium grains, okay? And I need to just go run these things through one of the... I'm going to take these guys out, because these are the extras, is what these are, from the guys that are in our regular system. So let's just run those through here. Any yellorium in here? No, I think I already grabbed all those. Those should just be extra from the guys that are producing at the top. All the ones that are in the super hive are being centrifuged and then sent out into the system. Now, as you'll see, though, we don't have a lot of yellorium grains built up. But we do have a bunch of yellorium ingots built up. And here's why, all right? I went over here. I made us a pattern. Let's see, is it in this one? Yes, a pattern for yellorium dust, which is 4 yellorium grains. Okay, so that's that pattern there, right? So now this guy can automatically make that. Okay, and as you'll see, we don't even have a lot of that in here. We actually have none. I can craft it whenever I want as long as I have the resources for it. Watch what's going to happen. Well, actually, first things first. So this thing wasn't set up right. I didn't realize that if you have a loop in the system, it doesn't actually allow it to siphon off through the other side. It just, it goes for like the closest walk. And so basically everything beyond this point was not working. I disconnected this part and suddenly these were all working fine. So I just think I'm gonna have to shift this whole thing over 1. That's fine. You'll also notice extra guy up there. What's this redstone furnace doing? Well, this redstone furnace has a crafting card that is requesting yellorium dust. So whenever we can make and have yellorium dust, it sends a signal to the computer that says, make me that yellorium dust, and pop that up in here, okay? And then it will immediately cook it, right? It'll turn it into an ingot, send it back out into the system. So if I do this, wireless system, throw those yellorium grains in there, okay? Give it a second. Should start. Did that work? Yeah, you'll see? So it just made some yellorium grains. Those got popped up into here, and boom. There we go. Yellorium dust just turned into that yellorium ingot. So it took a second for it to recognize, okay, that stuff's in the system, and then boom, it's making yellorium ingots. So, long story short, we have auto yellorium stuff going on, okay? Good stuff. Now, we're making all the yellorium that we want, but that's not going to be enough for our reactors, right? There's a couple of other things that you need for the reactors. We got all the structural components, but there's a couple of other things that we're going to need. One thing in particular that I need to start making some of. So, first we need to go to bed, and imagine that there's a clever, funny message over here. Imagine something like that. So I I decided, right? We got all this space up here, and I haven't really been using it, okay? I need to fill in a couple of these spots. Hold on a second. Teak. No. Click. Teak. No. Click, 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 click. T-E-A. Thank you. Let's take a couple of those, okay? Boop. Okay, jump up. No, come on. Whoa, 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 what is that? What is going on there? You see that? What is that about? That's weird. Something happened there. Okay. And then you. Boop. All right, we're going to go up to the next floor, and there's going to be some fancy stuff there. Ba-ba-da-ba! I've decided to make a floor that is dedicated to producing liquids. All right, so we got lava over here. I need to get a lava transposer up here, a lava maker, a lava producer, whatever you call that machine. Lava fabricator? I think that's what it's called. But, see, I got the honey over here in this resonant portable tank. And then I made some more resonant portable tanks, because they're actually not that hard to make. I need to set up some auto crafting for them, just for ease. But they're really not that hard to make with all the stuff that we got. So what you do is you go backwards down the line, right? So for the highest level, you need Enderium around the reinforced. What's the reinforced? It's hardened glass around the hardened. What's before that? Invar around a portable. And what's a portable? It's just glass around some copper. E-Z-P-Z. So, made a bunch of those. And I was like, I would need a place where I can make liquids for certain things. In particular, we need to make some Liquid cryothium, or gelid cryothium, as it is called. Let's grab a couple of these. I probably can only put in one set at the moment, now that I think about it. But the way that I want this room to work, right, this is like if I need a specific liquid, rather than the stuff that's always being made in the system, right? Like I've got the redstone being put into the one specific fluid transposer in order to make specific types of items. But if I ever needed redstone that was fluid, I don't really have an easy way of having that. But not anymore, because what I do is I come up here and I go like, okay, I just need to make me some gelid cryothium. I take one of these guys, okay, put it over here, boop. It's right underneath this magma crucible, and I go, all right, boom, cryothium dust. Boom, it's making me some gelid cryothium. It's gonna fill this sucker right on up. So let's let that run for a little bit. We need this to cool our nuclear reactor. That's what we're basically planning on there. Now, the reactor that we're gonna build today is gonna be kind of like the prototype. Much like we built, can I look out the window? Yes, much like we built a little prototype of that guy, we're gonna build next to it a prototype of the reactor that we will eventually have. Because honestly, I'll go ahead and tell you now, the reactor that we're building today is the, what are called passively cooled, I believe, reactors. And so that's one that, you know, is like the first stage, the first tier. We don't have the stuff yet for the turbine types. Let's actually look at this. Let's look at our machinery really quickly, because there might be some quests associated with building those. Yeah, it's these things with the cyanite. So I need to get some cyanite grains. I need to breed these bees. And then once I do that, I can start building the things for the turbines. So today we're just building this reactor, the regular big reactor. And so as a result, the one that we build, remember, here, I'm gonna put in a whole nother stack of this stuff so I can build up a bunch of this, and I'll show you. Doot. So you know how we have this stuff back here? Gosh, it's so weird without the jetpack sounds. All this stuff's getting moved, right? Once I build the super hive, which is one of our next big endeavors, it's gonna be probably over here, and it's gonna be like the biggest hive you've ever seen. Out the back of this, I want to turn this into like an exterior turbine reactor, okay? Because the turbine reactor has this really cool thing down the middle. You're going to see it when we make it next, the next time when we have all that, the cyanite bees. It's got this big tube in the middle that's a turbine that has spinning blades on it, and it produces steam. So what I want is I want to have a huge one that takes up like this whole spot, if it's possible, or a huge chunk of this spot, so that it just kind of like sticks out of the back here, like boom, look at that heavy machinery. I think that'll look really cool. So that's the plan for when we make the turbine one. But today we're working on just the big reactors one. They're both from big reactors, I think, but the standard passively cooled one, not the actively cooled turbine. Okay, so how are we doing up here? Another stack, let's do it. So we've got so far 32,000 gelid cryothium. So we could have tons of gelid cryothium being made all the time if we wanted to in order to do this. But we actually only need probably like 9 buckets worth or something. Maybe 20 buckets worth, something along those lines. It'll depend, we'll see. I'm gonna probably need, well, you know what? I can always have any blocks that I need when I need them. It's great, because I got my wireless thing. Oh, and by the way, I'll show you, again, while we're waiting. With the wireless terminal, another thing you can do in order to increase its range on the security terminal is you install, no, it's not there, it's on this wireless access point. You install these boosters. So I made a bunch of these. Here's the recipe. It's just iron, fluix dust, some kind of quartz, and ender dust. You can use all kinds of different quartz. So I use, I think, just the regular Certus quartz, because we get those from one of our bees. Ender pearl powder is easy for us to get, or ender dust, right? We have tons of that stuff. And fluix dust, as you can expect, is just a pulverized fluix crystal. Again, we're making tons of that stuff. So those are easy to make. So I boosted the crap out of it. I might build more. I think you can fit a full 64 stack, and that increases our range. So our range right now is 270 meters. So that's pretty good. It does use 204 EU a tick. Let me switch that to RF. 800 RF a tick. So that's a lot. But considering the amount of power that we make, probably not an issue. So yeah, as you can see, like this guy, he's having no problem. We have so many solar panels. We got no problems. So that's no problem. All right. Let us go ahead up to the top now, and let's us get that gelid cryothium so we can use it for our reactor. Taking you. Okay, and I'll go ahead and I will just get, that'll be fine. Oh, and I also have this fluid transposer here. I figured, like, for some things I might be wanting to have fluids being transposed. So what I did is I have this in this orientation because let's say I wanted to take a liquid that I've already made and put it into something. Boom, grab that guy. and say, okay, I got you, whatever liquid you are that I want to put into some kind of thing. Oh, whoops. I was standing on the... Come on, shift. Up. There we go. Right, nope. Shift right click, thank you. And then jump. Okay, so whatever liquid I have that I want to put on there, boom, pop that on top, and then it'll drain into this fluid transposer, okay? Or if I wanted to be making something and having it go in there, instead of doing that, you just pop on a liquid transfer node, and it will immediately pump into there, right? Super easy system. Okay, let's pop you back on there. Oh, wrong one. I want that one. Thank you. Place you there. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, let's go up and out. Whee! So let us try building, and this is something that I don't fully... I have ideas on how this works, but there are some issues that I'm going to have with just making it work in a way that is automated. Like, that's really the big issue with this, and it's mostly because we have currently our yellorium is going into the computer system, and passively pulling from the computer system is difficult from what I've tried. I tried it with these, with a transfer node and a filter coming off of one of my tesseracts that was hooked up to it, and that didn't seem to work, so I'll have to figure out a way from that. There's a hard way, and there's a forceful way, and then there's an elegant way. The forceful way is easier. The elegant way will take a little bit of effort. So that's something that I'll be working on. So today we're just going to be manually placing in our yellorium just, again, for proof of concept. So I made a bunch of casings, made a bunch of reactor glass. Y'all remember those are pretty easy to make. And I had some more yellorium this time. Reactor control rods, or is that what it's called? Control rod, yes. And then our fuel rods. And then our power tap, our access ports, and our controller. All right, these are the most important pieces for controlling the thing. You need one control rod at least. The fuel rod is where the fuel goes. I think we're gonna try and build one that is 5 by 5, just because that's a little bit easier, or 5 by 5 by 5, because it's a little bit easier to see what's going on inside of it. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, that's 5, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Okay. And then the whole frame has to be out of reactor casings, from what I understand. It can't be glass, basically. So you gotta do it like that. Okay. And then 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Just like that. And we'll just fill in this whole bottom as well. Doot. Okay. And then you, and you, and you. Okay. And like this. Okay, and we're gonna do the sides out of glass because then we can see a little bit better. As to what's going on the inside. Okay, just like that. We're gonna have enough. Hope we have enough. I can always make some more. Okay. Oh, and then I didn't fill that part. Man, it's funny how much this stuff can take. My goodness. And actually, is that gonna break it? That might break it, huh? Can't right-click it. Darn, that might break the glass, huh? Please don't! Oh, it didn't! Okay, cool. Alright, so then... Just wanna... let's do the top part real quick. And let me just look around. I think this will be fine. Yeah. Okay, let's start it this way. Let me do the... access ports and put those both on the same side. Okay, and let me just quickly, you're gonna be an output, you're gonna be on input. Okay, cool. Then I need the power tap. This is where our power is going to come out of. Right, so that's what's gonna go back into the system of the power. And then where's the controller? So then the controller is gonna go here. Okay, this is where we this is where we access stuff for the reactor. Okay, so then the rest of this, glass. Okay, and then fuel rod in the middle. And now apparently you can actually have multiple fuel rods. This one's not really big enough for me to do that too effectively, I don't think, with the style of reactor we're doing. I mean, I guess I could... Right now, we're just going to do one. Let's just put it that way. But it'll be 3 high, so that's better than just a 3 by 3 by 3 reactor. So we do it like that. Okay, so there's our fuel rod, as you can see. Okay. And on top of that, we put our fuel rod cap, this control rod. Okay, that's what basically you can like limit how much is allowed, from what I understand, of power to go in. It's basically how you like kind of control how much power you're wasting and your fuel efficiency and whatnot. And then we take our gelid cryothium. Oh no, you're supposed to work like a bucket. Isn't that supposed to work like a bucket? Maybe if I shift click? Because remember, I used it like a bucket before. All right, let me try and shift click. Nope, same deal. Okay, then let me quickly go and get a bucket. Actually, oh, I have one on me. Perfect. So then I'll do this. Fly, stop. Okay, place it here. Do it like this. So we want to do it so that it surrounds. Oh, whoa, does that fall? Interesting, that's different. When I looked at the, what do you call it? The tutorial I watched, it did not fall in this fashion, but still, this will be fine, because if it fills the whole space, then that's all that really matters. Because I need it to surround the fuel rod so that it cools. Whoa! Didn't mean for you to do that. But that's what gelid cryothium does, by the way. It's so cold that it freezes around it. So you can actually, if I wanted to create like a snowy biome, that's how I would do it. All right, let's just keep pumping a little bit of this stuff in here until it fills around the whole space. I believe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. If I'm doing this wrong, then whoops. And I'm sure a whole bunch of y'all are going to be telling me down below, oh my gosh, Price, you're going to blow up your whole place. If I do, well, then that'll give us an excuse. That'll give us an excuse to rebuild some different stuff, huh? I really probably shouldn't have built this so close to the pig pen. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Okay. All right, so that's the whole thing surrounded by gelid cryothium. So that should keep it super cool, because that's the whole thing about the gelid cryothium. It's the coldest liquid that there is, from what I understand, and we have a ton of it. So I figured, why not try using that stuff? Now, last thing, let's make some more reactor glass to fill this guy out. And all right, our block is made. So we can't really see past the gelid cryothium, but this does still give us an indication of what's going on in there, and we can just barely see the controller. Let me see, can I see it from up here? Yeah, we'll be able to look inside there and see it. Okay, so now what do we got going on? We got our access port, we got our two access ports. One is exporting and one is importing. Now, essentially what this is this guy will export the cyanite that is the negative byproduct of yellorium being put into this to make power. The controller is where we access this and we look at what's going on inside of here, and then the power tap is where we pull the power from it. So what I would like to do, I think, is let's grab, I think that the best thing to do, if we have a, because I've got some tesseracts that we can use, and if we had a battery, let me see if, can I make a resonant energy cell? I think I can. Energy, resonant energy cell frame, resonant energy cell, craft, next. Everything to need? Okay, let's build one of those. Let's watch it get made. Watch the sausage being made. Anything? Anything? Oh, it's using this stuff over here. You can see it's filling up a redstone energy cell frame so that it can use that. I love how this stuff works, by the way. This whole setup is so cool. I love these things where you like program and whatnot. It's like Factorio. Reminds me of Factorio. That's what's going on there. So, all right, it just pulled that. So then it's working on making this guy. Crafting that. Scheduled is the resonant energy cell. Were you able to pull this? Why ain't you pulling? Come on. Do your thing. Something's up here. For some reason, it did not export it into here. And that's a problem. Is it because this is hooked up? Oh, it's going to break the whole thing. All right, I'm going to take this. I shouldn't do this, all right? Because this is going to mess with the way the computer is seeing things. It's going to be really confused. But if it made it, it made it. Resonant energy cell. Okay, cool. So I think what I want to do, so that we know that this is going into the system properly, let us have a floor. Let's go to bed. Again, imagine there's something really clever being written over here. Sometimes I forget. I'm sorry, guys, and I know you love it, and I love that you guys love it, and I promise I'll try and do it as often as I can, but I'm sometimes I forget. I'm just a person. So let us have, let's say, yeah, this room. This room will be like an, actually, you know what? No, this one. Because this room is garbage anyways. It's such a mess. I need to clean this one out. So what I'll do is I'm going to put this guy here. Okay, and I actually want it to be output. Okay, so it's got no power inside of it. We're going to hook up a tesseract to it. We are going to set a new one. Can I just do like nuclear? Add frequency. Doesn't work. Okay, so then nuclear, we are going to say 51. Okay, area 51, which I know has nothing to do with nuclear stuff. All right, but I just kind of like it as a number. Can't add that frequency? Come on, you're making me blush here. Just let me do a thing. How about 7? Can't add 7? 3? Can I add 3? I can't add any. What's going on here? Why can't I add any frequencies? What's going on? All right, 3. Check. 3. Add frequency. There we go. What if I did? All right, well, that'll be fine. So 3 is nuclear power right now. Okay. So this is going to be on item mode, fluid mode, energy mode. Receive. Yes, this one's receiving. And it doesn't need these, doesn't need these. So it's receiving energy. It's not sending energy, it's receiving energy. Okay. So then, what should work, I believe I have another tesseract out here that I put into this box. I hope I did. If I don't, then I'll have to grab them. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is we'll have this set to send. It'll be set to 3. Check. It'll be set to send. Okay. None of these. And that'll be that. Now, I could also have this set to also have items. And I could set that up so that it would properly export the cyanites. And once I figure out how to deal with the yellorium part, have it importing the yellorium. Either way, I could use one tesseract for this whole thing. Right now, I'm just using it for the power, again, because we're just doing kind of a proof of concept here. Okay, so now let's finally grab all the yellorium that I've got. Let's grab a little chunk of that. And we have an extra fuel rod because I didn't build it super tall. Just put that away for now. Let me go into this reactor. So if I go into the access port here, I should be able to do that. All right, it pumped a bunch into there. Core fuel status, 100% full. Now, let us, oh boy, auto-eject waste and activate the reactor. Okay, now, it's heating up. How's it doing? So far, it's producing 1.4 thousand flux per tick, RF a tick, okay? The temperature is only getting up to 442 Celsius, which it should be getting up much higher than that based on the amount that we are, based on the size of it and everything like that. But because we have the gelid cryothium, that's keeping it really low. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is the lower the temperature, the slower the burn rate. Your energy output is actually going to still be high. You're still going to be producing a lot of energy. You might actually produce more, but you're going to slowly burn your yellorium. So what that means is we're doing 0.083 millibuckets of yellorium per tick, okay? That's pretty cool, huh? So we have 9 yellorium ingots left in there that will still fill up the fuel, and it should be sending out all of the energy, all the stored up energy. Now, if you look inside there, you can actually see, just barely, the liquid yellorium inside of there. So that is the fuel that we're using, and the reactor is burning all that stuff up, and once it burns up enough of it, we will get some cyanite here as the byproduct. And so that's why we have this access port that is set as an export. That thing would immediately export the cyanite into that. And so I'm actually just going to go ahead and do this. We're going to put that there. So when there's some cyanite, it should immediately eject it into this chest. Hopefully, I think it should. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Just because we can. Let's put it above. And let me grab, I know I have this guy. I got all these transfer nodes in here. Might as well use some of them. And we do that, okay? So now, any cyanite that is produced should get put into here. I need to eat a cheeseburger. Give me that cheeseburger. Delicious. Okay, so now we see that's set up. Now let me go and look at the power situation here. Boop. Boop. Now, the one thing that I realized I shouldn't have done, so let me actually take this out. Boop. Okay. Let's put it just right here, just so we can see it. Look at that! Boom! That sucker is filling up with tons of energy. Okay, so now basically what we have is that reactor through the Tesseract is sending energy into this energy cell, which then, because of the way I had it set up, was immediately going into the system. Okay, it was being used. We weren't wasting that energy. So, totally works. Totally works. And let me just go double check. Oh gosh. Forgot that I was standing on the little warp pad. I probably should have put the elevators in the corner now that I'm thinking about it, because that has happened a lot. So now that energy, boom, right back out into the system. So we're producing a, 1,400 RF a tick just from this one tiny little reactor. And has it even produced any waste? Not that I could see. So that's working really well. You see, yeah, it's 2.5% depleted. It's barely burning through it, and it's making us a ton of energy. So this tiny little reactor, you know, this one isn't going to produce us a ton of energy, but still 1,500 RF per tick. That's no joke. I mean, let's look at the solar panels. How much, let's see. Generation, solar panel 5 is 1,024 per tick. So this guy is roughly equivalent to a solar panel 5, which are the ones that we have only 4 of. These are like the super powerful ones that are doing so much for us. So we can basically build something like this out of reactors. It takes up a much larger space, but it turns yellorium into power, which is something that'll actually work all day round, you know? So if we have enough of these little guys, and these little guys are definitely not taking that much RF per tick. This guy's paying for our wireless terminal and then some. So that's working pretty well. All right, I'm cool with this. I dig it. Obviously, like I said, this was just kind of a work in progress, a kind of proof of concept. It's not inside any of the cool spaces and whatnot. But like I said, I want the next set that we will use the turbine type. We're gonna have that set up here, but I gotta breed those cyanite bees. So, and I also need to build the super hive. So it'll be a little bit of a ways away, but I dig that we actually built a nuclear reactor, and it's totally not a problem. And you see the temperature's not getting up anywhere near us having to worry about it running out or blowing up or whatever, right? Or breaking. Because I don't know if they do blow up. In the thing that I watched, the tutorial I watched, it was like, they don't blow up yet, so don't worry about it. But I don't know if that was made a couple years ago. Maybe they do blow up now. But we're still producing a pretty consistent 1,300. It's going down a little bit. I don't know why. Is it just because of the stuff? Let's see. Auto eject waste. Keep the reactor going. Okay, and then, let's see. I want to set this to eject waste. Okay. Outlet, and then don't want it to eject fuel inlet. Okay, regardless, it's still producing a great amount of energy. I don't know why it fluctuates, like what the cause of the fluctuation is, why the energy level's going down. It may just be how these work as the waste builds up. And then once it gets to a high enough point to where it can actually eject some of that waste, it'll eject that out as some hard cyanite, and then we'll be good. So maybe they just fluctuate like that. I don't know everything about it, but that's where we're going to end this episode of Be Happy. We have built our first reactor. I think it's pretty cool. I dig it. And we were able to use that gelid cryothium that we have had so much of that dust of, that it's so nice to be able to actually put that to use, because I knew it was going to be necessary at some point. I didn't know what. But anyway, so what do I need to work on with this? Well, I need to figure out the system that I'm going to do for the inputting the yellorium. And so, okay, all right, I know I do this. Virginia, you called me out on it, and you're right. I said I was going to end it, and then there was one last thing I wanted to say. So basically, here's the issue that I currently have, right? I want to get yellorium straight into there, but if you just hook up to a Tesseract, if you just take a transfer node and hook it up to a Tesseract, I even had one with an item filter that you can see it says yellorium ingot on it, right? So I was like, okay, cool. It'll automatically pull yellorium ingots from the system. Doesn't work that way. It won't work off of a Tesseract straight. So either I have to set something up in the computer with a, like what I could do is I could set up an export bus with one of these crafting cards, okay? And then put in it yellorium ingot, so it would automatically eject into something, probably just a chest, okay? And then have that pump out to something. I could also use an ender chest, have it pump into an ender chest, and have the ender chest hooked up over there. There's a couple of ways that I could do it. So those are the inelegant ways that I just described to you there. Like those ones, well, no, I mean, I think using the export bus is probably pretty elegant. The inelegant one is actually if I were to just hook up, if I was to take off the top of this, the smart cable with the import bus, and then instead put some kind of system there that then pumps out into a tesseract, and then that tesseract is hooked up over there. So it's a little bit less elegant, but still roughly the same thing. So I'll have some setup like that eventually to where the yellorium that we make automatically gets put into there. But until then, that'll be the end of this episode. So with all that, thank you all for watching. If you like your style, please be sure to give this video a like, a favorite, and subscribe to the channel. Next week, I'm thinking we're going to start breaking ground on the old super hive so that we can actually start getting that stuff going. I'm going to continue to breed some bees off camera, but you know what? Next episode may be a big bee breeding episode. It's been a little while since we did that. We got a ton of bees that we got to breed, so I think that's something that we may have to put some attention to. But hopefully y'all enjoyed getting to see the awesomeness that is a reactor, and I can go knock this off the list. Let's go bust that sucker. Come here. I want to get rid of it. Come here, sign. What do you think you got? Think you got something on me? Where you at? Boom. All right. I should let Pigbee do this, but I'm just too excited about it. All right, I can't help it. Where you at? Boom! Nuclear power. Done. All right, awesome. Cool. Thank you. All right. So anyway, y'all, if you liked the video, please be sure to give it a like, a favorite, and subscribe to the channel. My name has been Bryce, and I will see y'all next time. Oh gosh, I'm stuck under the awning. Next time, look at the nuclear. Look at the nuclear. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. It's pronounced nuclear, not nuclear, by the way. That's just because it's spelled nuclear. N-U-clear. Okay. Okay. But you can say it however you want. You can say it nuclear if you want to. I don't mind. Say it however you want. Okay, love you guys. Bye!